Welcome to week 5 of distance learning. This is Miss Icum on behalf of Ms. Hike and Mr. Gugudi. We are hoping that you are all doing well during this time. If you do need help on work, please do reach out to us. We're here to help you. So let's get right to what week 5 is all about. Week 5 is going to have you reading a story called An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. You can find that on or in the PDF on pages 80 to 88. You can also find it in your textbook if you have that at home, or on the My Perspectives curriculum in the apps in your Google Drive. You will be scored the exact same as every other week. So again, you're going to make a copy of the Google Doc. You'll complete parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then the scoring is exactly the same as the last 3 weeks. This assignment is worth 40 points. All your responses need to be accurate, well thought out. It should be clear that you understood the story based on your responses, and all your responses need to be in complete sentences. At the bottom, we have a suggestion for how you might complete the work by doing just a little bit of work each day, instructions for accessing the My Perspectives portal, and then your teacher's contact information. So let's jump on over to that Google Doc. The link is, of course, is in your Canvas assignment right here. So the Google Doc at the top, the part 1 is going to ask you to compare a vocabulary word to a synonym. So for example, you'll compare etiquette to one of these terms. So how is etiquette different than good manners? So I figure that out, and then I would write my response right over here in one complete sentence. You'll do that for each of the vocabulary words. Next up is the comprehension check. We've had a comprehension check each week, the same thing. The one thing I'm noticing is a couple students are not seeing the directions where it's asking for one complete sentence. Do make sure you are writing one complete sentence for each of these questions. Part 3 is analyze the text. I do want to go over question 1 with you. Question 1 in part 3, analyze the text, says reread paragraphs 36 through 37. That's the very end of the story. In your own words, explain what happens to the main character Farquhar. Explain your response in at least 2 complete sentences. The reason I'm pointing this one out is it's okay if you need to read paragraphs 36 and 37 3 or 4 times. We want your teachers want you to understand what happened at the end of the story. It's really important. So take your time, think about that before you write your response. If you get stuck on that question, please do reach out, send an email. We can set up a Zoom conference or a phone conference, or or your teachers can respond over email. We are here to help. And then you have a second question where you'll also be writing 2 sentences. Part 4, you have 3 options. Option 1, Farquhar is a civilian plantation owner living in the South and is a slave owner. On page 832, the soldier who approaches Farquhar's home is a Northern soldier posing as a Confederate soldier. The Northern soldier sets up a trap to lure Farquhar into interfering with the railroad. The trap works. In your opinion, is it right or wrong for the Northern soldier to set that trap for Farquhar? Your response should be at least a paragraph in length. And when we're saying at least a paragraph in length, like 5, 6, 7, 8 sentences. 2 sentences is not enough here. Option 2, research and retell one key event from the Civil War. Your response should be at least 2 paragraphs of a minimum of 4 complete sentences each. Include key people, locations, dates, and occurrences. And then option 3 has something a little different for you this week. Sensory language appeals to the 5 senses: sight, sound, smell, touch, and taste. There's a short silent film, An Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge, which does a beautiful job conveying sensory language from the written story. After watching the film, identify 3 instances of sensory language that you recognize from the short story. Copy your examples from the written story at the link below.